In this video, I will show you guys how to make a redstone obstacle course. From all the redstone projects we completed, I want to complete an obstacle course with this. And no, this isn't the end of building. We got more redstone projects to get done before we get into the expert modes. So if you don't like and subscribe to this video, then you'll hit your head on this tree right here. I'm just kidding. But you're gonna go and grab all the stuff we need for our builds, and to introduce new ones. So grab some cobblestone walls, and then grab yourself some chains, and then grab yourself the slime block. Along with that, we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves the ladders. Then we will need some stone brick slabs, and then all the way down, this is where we're gonna get all the redstone. Plus, we'll probably need more items later on, so keep that in mind. So an obstacle course should look like an obstacle course like from Wipeout, but we need like redstone torches, levers, and then we'll need some sticky pistons. But we need a few items later on. So basically, pause the video if you need to, and whenever you want to start building. Fine. Okay, the first step we're gonna build is called the bridge rope of death. So when it comes to building stuff like this, you want to make sure that you're building it oppositely. The first step we're building is the chain grabbing rope of death. But basically we're gonna pose it. So basically go ahead and start right here. Place a row of 1, 2. Basically you're gonna make stone brick blocks out of this. So place 6 blocks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Along with this, add the ladder. You're gonna add your ladders to the build. Okay, on this block right here, going ahead, you're gonna make a row. You're gonna make 10 rows. That you're actually gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of that. And then basically the next part is basically the chain rope of death, where basically the player has to go through, must grab on the chains without falling into the pit of lava. So we're actually gonna need some lava. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of the ladder right now. You don't need a ladder, and grab yourself the bucket of lava. I'm going to do that. Now, I'm gonna try my best making, like I said, I fully can't regenerate this yet, so I may need a little bit of this may look screwed up, and people make not have to watch the tutorial video. Alright, so I'm going to talk to this lava right now. So get rid of your ladders, and then we're gonna go ahead. Basically, there's gonna be another opposite side of this. So it's not like a bridge, for example, but basically there's gonna be a mine cart. This is where a mine cart goes, and you must be on that mine cart, and you want to make sure you jump off and grab on the chains, and you must swing and get to the next side. So I'm going to improvise that. To improvise that, we're going to go ahead and place a piece of redstone right here to know where our locations definitely minecart. So place a piece of redstone right there, and we'll get to that later. So second, you want to build it opposite the same side. So if you look closely, you want to make sure that you have, along with your stone brick slabs or cobblestone wall, you want to make it like a grid. Make a grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You want to have like 20. You want to have an area that's 21. So I'll be right back once I get the bridge. Alright, so once you have that there, I believe the one part you should get yourself a rectangle. And what it does is that rectangle there is going to be the pit of lava. So go ahead and extract yourself by making more more rows of grid until it hits the end of the angle of the rectangle. And then you should connect it down to, I say about one more right here. I say one more, and then we're gonna go and connect it down. We don't have to do this, but I want to make sure it connects because it must line up with the rectangle that we build on the build. Yes, it does. So we did that. So delete the blocks that you made. Oh, I got my rectangle back. The rectangle grid is for placing the lava there. So I'm gonna go ahead and now, basically after that, go ahead and place your lava down. And I might have to put the camera down a couple of times. You wanna dig 2. Oops. Okay, well I didn't particularly said that. But just take like a slime block and like delete like the stuff. So do not place lava down. So you wanna dig two rows down. And I'll get back to you guys once I'm done. Okay, I'm back. So you should have dig 2 rows there, and now place your lava. You want to have lava also coming up from the barriers of the wall as well. And you make sure you don't overflow it, because if you overflow it, the lava will go over the place. Just like 2 rows of it, like you see right there. And that should flip. Looks legitimate. Alright. Okay, moving on with the build. So the build right here, we're gonna go ahead and use that. Now you see that piece of redstone, right? That piece of redstone. Oh, problem. Sorry about that. Alright. That was like a cringe right there. If you become a like, I would react to the Minecraft cringe videos. Try not to laugh compilation videos. But now you see this piece of redstone right here? This redstone basically tells us where we place the track. You don't really have to place a piece of redstone, but the redstone, for people who are basically trying to hack into Minecraft, they will obviously use this to communicate with like what they're putting down. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the activator rails and the minecart. So we won't be needing our redstone torches or our sticky pistons for a while. The sticky piston we'll use is for the third party obstacle course. So we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves the power rails. We'll get rid of our redstone torch, and then we'll grab ourselves a minecart. Okay, now delete that piece of redstone, and then go ahead and place a row of power rails coming from here. Now, you see right here, I actually made a little mark. This is supposed to be here. That first rail. Basically, this is where the redstone actually goes. Because the piece of redstone is going to power it on. So place your lever right here. And if you power it on, it should light up. But the first one does not. Because basically it can only light up to about a couple of joules that are basically making the minecarts. So place a lever right there, and then place your minecart. Now, basically when you basically push that, the minecart is gonna go off. Meaning that it's gonna go off. And if you don't get off the minecart, then the minecart will push and it'll fall into the lava. That's what the main part of this build is. The chain rope of death is for. It's kind of like a little like. Have you heard about Jokerland? That big Lego set called Jokerland is where people build. You have the Joker and it's like wild little land. He like Teen Titans and Batman. It kind of looks like the one where basically Harley Quinn has like a little bike with Robin attached to it. That's what I'm meaning. So it's kind of like an obstacle course, like trick your friends into doing it, and then at the end it'll be like a little chest filled with some rewards, some little goodies like a little gold. Now you know over here, this is where my farm village of villagers are and houses. But we're not going to be doing this. But if I grant a guarantee, I'm gonna make sure that all these villagers are gonna be safe. So, here's this one little trick. If you hit the bell, all the villagers go into houses like that. They all go in their houses. They kind of froze a little bit because they don't know what to do. Some villagers can be dumb, but some villagers are really smart at this. Like they're smart like this little wall barrier I built in case they go in the water, they wouldn't want them to drown. All right, let's get back to the build. Okay, so like I said before, that piece of redstone right there, you want to put that there. So you're gonna add a minecart right here, and then like I said before, once it's on, and once you go near it, it's like magic. For example, if you go on it, if you push it, it's like magic because it's called power rails. And if you don't get off at time, you will end up in the lava. So that could be a little example. So since it's a creative, you cannot die in creative. But if you want to build this in survival, you're gonna need all the pieces you can in order to build this in survival. So let's not mess with this for a while. Let's just go ahead. We're just evaluating it. Just make sure you put that minecart there. Don't bump it. All right. And then we can go ahead now and build the same side. So take out your stone bricks, slabs, and on this block right here, you're gonna make 6 blocks again. 2, 3, 4, and I'll come back to you guys with the. Okay, so I'm back, and now once you have the same build on the other side, and then you can go ahead now and delete your. You go ahead and delete your grid now. I should just keep in the rectangle grid as well from the lava getting out. And here's what I did. I basically took a spruce wood block and I basically used it as my grid right here. Basically, I took a couple of pieces of chain, 3 rows of chain, and I placed them here. Actually, the main part is that I'll show you. You want to have the chains facing towards where the outgoing is. So, by here, grab your spruce wood block. Oh. Go ahead and get rid of your activator power rails. We don't need those now. And look right here. If I place a block here, main part is I'm going to place a block here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other sides and place them right here. Now basically we're going to have a couple openings. Yeah, slow. We're gonna take some chains here. Alexa, good morning. And I'm gonna up those chains up to do. Now it's only for the other sides. I'm gonna basically, if you look closely, I'm gonna up those. How about so look closely is what I'm doing. I'm gonna up them to 3. 3 rows of chains. Like so. And you go and delete that spruce wood block grid. So this kind of mine's like a little opening. You have to hurry up and get off the minecart and then jump to the next minecart without falling. And on the other side here, go ahead and place some. Grab yourselves the ladders now. You can get rid of your chains now because we won't be needing them until the 5th part of. There's gonna be 10 rows of obstacle courses. So 10 rows. So we're gonna try to get to the video as fast as far as we can. But there's gonna be 10 rows here. So basically there's gonna be one here. I'll be just doing one today, and I'll be doing others tomorrow or someday, weekly videos. Now we're not basically done yet. We're gonna take our cobblestone wall. If you see this grid right here, we're gonna go ahead and basically create a barrier around the pit of lava, meaning that we're not don't. It keeps it from protecting. So it kind of looks off-gridded because it's on stone brick slabs. So this is what we're supposed to have. We're not literally fully done yet. Look closely. Go ahead and place some spruce wood on top of the chains. So I want to add something really cool to this. Like add something cool to your face. Go ahead, we're gonna go ahead and place it there, grab your cobblestone wall, then place. You'll be enough for. Sorry about that. Go ahead and place a few couple of like. See what your promise, Alexa. With your cobblestone wall, go ahead and place 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry. I want to place a row of 15. Place a row of 10, actually 10 cobblestone walls. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 10 rows. And then grab yourself any color block. Like, basically, this is a part of a build. Basically, you can make like an American flag, a Canadian flag, a UK flag. I prefer not UK because UK is kind of hard. The Union Jack. I'll be making a Union Jack flag here. Since I'm German, I'm make myself the German flag. I'm still American. So I'll just make myself the German flag. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll grab myself black concrete. I'll grab me the red concrete, and I'll grab myself the yellow concrete. Since I'm creating like part of the build is part of like a flag, so you'll see like this. So come right there, make a row. You should know how to make a flag. It's 5 rows, so it's 5 black concretes. Then underneath will be 5 red concretes. Hello, good morning. And then 5 yellow concretes. I'm still American, but there you go. See what your problem is, Alexa. Now, I think you actually want to have it. No, it doesn't look good with that. I want you to have it facing like the other way, like facing to like where people could see it. Like you want to have it facing like this way. Do not face it like facing on the other side. We want to face it like worse, like the front, for example. The 5 rows of black concrete, 5 rows of red concrete, and then 5 rows of yellow concrete. It kind of like a flip flop. I'm sorry, I actually did 4 rows. There we go. This is what you're supposed to have right here. So, yep, that is what the build is. Now, we did a couple of redstone, as you see before. The power rails right here. Basically, this is called the chain rope of death. So, basically, here's how it is. The player basically starts here. The first landmark, we'll say, is like a tree, for example, or like a piece of rock. If you don't have a landmark around you, then build a landmark. Build like a wall here. Build like a spruce wood wall right here with like lever. Build like a wall with like levers. Pretend this is your landmark. What your starting position. But my starting position will be this tree right here. So make anything you want. Make any landmark you want. But it must be capable of where you start at. If you don't make a landmark, then you won't remember where you start from. So my start position will be this tree right here. The player must this is the first one, chain rope of death. The player must climb this. then basically, what the main problem is, you want to activate this by going onto the minecarts. By activating the minecart, you want to activate the lever. Give me 1 sec. Activate the lever. Then basically you want to give yourself a little push. Give yourself a little push. Basically, you stop right here. And if you now basically here's what the problem is. When the minecart stops right there, you have a few seconds to get off. If you don't, then you fall into the pit of lava. But if you make it on your first try, like right here, we really want to fix that. So grab yourself the solar slabs again, then create like 2 rows right here. Let me check. Okay, that one's fine, but it's far away. It's way back. Then place the lever right there, and you should get it. So that's the little mistake right there. Now place the redstone minecart right there, and if you ride it, you got a few seconds to get off. And if you don't, then basically you fall into the lava. And that's where you basically have to restart. That's why you have to restart the whole obstacle course again from the tree. And don't worry. So the minecars basically have a little expectations. Like if you cave into temptation, for example. So I'll place it back here. Basically, you have to hurry up and jump off the cart. So basically, we'll try this again. Jump off. Then you want to basically jump until you get to the second minecart. This one is kind of tricky, but and once you get to that one, you're basically you get to move on to the next one. So you get to move on to the next step of the obstacle course. So that is a chain rope of death. So yeah. And the German flag, that's just there for decoration. In case you want to add like a little flag to your decoration. But basically you gotta remember where your landmark is. Like I said, the landmark here is this tree. So I'll be sure to remember this is my tree, my starting position. Actually, maybe we have time to make another one. Okay. The next one is the water bridge tightrope. And yes, I mean tightropes. Tightropes are what people who are basically challengeable enough, people who do it in France. Basically, back in the early 17th century, tightropes became popular for circuses and all that stuff, acrobats. People have been using tightropes since the early 17th century when the first circus opened up. No, I'm sorry. In the early 15th century, during the Shakespearean era, Shakespeare era, basically people use tightropes to basically produce people who basically go to circuses, and they will have a little mark of example, meaning you have to balance on a tightrope, and if you don't balance, then you have a fear of heights. And like I said, I have a fear of heights as well, so I don't do tightropes. But Minecraft is just a game. If you plan on doing a survival, go for it. But like I said, you might die. But the water can help you, because if you don't get out of the water in time, you'll drown. So we can go ahead and make a couple more builds. So like I said here before. So basically, how to make a tightrope it's kind of tricky, just like the chain rope of death. It kind of looks like a tightrope, but it's not. It's like a little challenge, like a little extreme expert challenge. So, like before here. Basically, in case you have mounts like this, I'm gonna grab myself the grass block and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, we can go ahead and make the next project, which is basically the tightrope edge of waterness. And I mean that it's like going to a water park, for example. Like you've been to a water park before? They have like all those like high super slides. Well, it's kind of like this. Now, basically, I never made a tightrope in Minecraft, but tightrope has something to do with a piece of string. But basically, I'll show you how to make a piece of string with no problem. So for some materials you're gonna need some. We'll get rid of the concrete. Grab yourself the iron bars. No. Grab yourself some oak fence. Word. Then grab yourself. Basically, we want something really high that's going to connect it. So we're not going to be using our stone brick slab because it's going to take a long time. We'll just go ahead and use we'll just use the cobblestone wall. That's what the cobblestone wall is. We'll just grab yourself the cobblestone wall. Oh, and then you're gonna grab yourself the piece of string. Cause that's what a tightrope is basically about. It's basically a long piece of rope or string. And since we basically can't use chains because chains are mostly vertical, string is the only option we'll use. Okay, then what else do we need? And then I think we'll grab ourselves some. And the last thing we only need to do grab ourselves the bucket of water. If you don't have any water, then grab yourself the bucket of water. I don't need a bucket of water because look at this. It's on a stream. It's on a river stream. So, okay. Now to make the tightrope, you're going to grab yourself the cobblestone. And I made a mark right here for the next tutorial. You don't want to put all your obstacle courses together because they'll look wrong. So, for the next scene, you're going to go ahead and you're going to basically look over. Like, I'm going to look over this. So, actually before, just like a mountain, I want to make sure that I want to cross over here to get to the next obstacle. So by using I'm using some stone bricks, some grass blocks as my handy dandy expert. I want to go ahead, I want to calculate this. I want to go ahead and just, where my starting point at? So I want to start like right here. Let's talk. I want to build a block over to right here. So I'm gonna keep that there for precautiousness. If you're building this one, be sure you build basically make sure you have like a mountain slab. If you don't, then find yourself like a mountain slab, or if you're playing on PC, try to put like a mod back on here. Okay, it's time to get building. Now, like we said before, let's start up. You're gonna place yourself a row of 20 cobblestone walls. Actually, you're gonna place yourself, I'm sorry, not 20, 25 layers of cobblestone wall. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. There's a 6 right now, so here, I'll count as well. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This we're supposed to have right here, 25 rows of cobblestone wall. And then what you do on the on side, you want to do on the same side as well. So I'm going to go ahead and create another row here. Put a grass block there and I'll put row of 25 as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. I think we got a row of 25 on here. So okay, what you've done, that's now is the perfect timing to add some iron bars to the side as well. Iron bars are like little antennas, so place 3 iron bar antennas right there. Oh, you got smacked in the ass. And then do the same thing on the other side as well. So 3 on the other side as well. They give themselves a little precautious idea in case someone's trying to cheat, and that antenna will basically do something. Okay, once you got that, now it's time to add our piece of string. Now, the piece of string is working. It's going to go on the antenna actually. Let me check something real quick. Save the promise, Alexa. Now, as I looked here before, the piece of string is right here, right? You can barely visibly see it. But if you jump on it, you can't really jump on the piece of string that much, but you want to have like something, you want to use like something else. So we're gonna go ahead, instead of using piece of string, we're gonna use some oak fencing. So instead of using a piece of string, grab ourselves the oak fence. We'll just use oak fence. And trust me, oak fence is really hard as well, because I refer to pieces of string as well. Because piece of string is so visible, you can't really stand on it. But like, well, why would someone stand on a piece of string? Like a piece of thread. It's like so impossible. But just build your way over to the other side of the iron bar you made. Now you can't really connect it because on a slight thick rope. Basically add the iron bars. Now build an iron bar here. Okay. Oh, I totally forgot. About building something. I have to build a row of ladders. So grab yourself these stone bricks and grab yourself laddering. I forgot all about that. And now for the piece of strings, I'll just place a piece of string. I'm gonna place a piece of string on the int. I want to place a piece of string on both sides of this, just to keep it in balance, to make sure no something bad happens. That's kind of like a little hacking device. And then go ahead and delete those things you made. Like go ahead and delete like the build you made. 16. So I'll place a piece of string. Piece of strings that are like facing this way. It's kind of like an advocated like plan if they're thinking that you're actually building something. So there's the tightrope what it looks like now, but we gotta build laddering. We gotta do some laddering. So grab yourself some brick slabs and then grab yourself the ladder. I totally forgot about that. We'll be needing the minecart, so delete your minecarts. And then just like the chain rope of death, you're just make yourself the build. You don't really need me to do it for you. You basically gotta do it. So from that piece of string that you made, place. Let me see something. Yeah. Actually, but since it's really hard, since it's gonna be really hard to do, because tightrope people do not. Basically, they use ladders to basically get on top of on the rope. They have to balance on the rope. So I'm gonna talk for a little bit. Figure we do some stuff. So when it comes to doing tight roping, you really gotta become really professional at it. Just like being an acrobat. Acrobats basically mostly are flexible and capable of like a contortionist. You guys know what a contortionist is? A contortionist is like an acrobat person, but they're mostly flexibility. They have flexible legs that are like rubber. And what they do is that they basically they create do like cartwheels and they do like somersaults with their legs. That's what I mean by that. So when it comes to doing that stuff, I can't participate in the circus because I don't have any talent. Like, my talent is like military career. Like, I have a Navy flag in the background. Basically, I joined ROTC. I wanted to get all ranks and medallions to participate because, like I said before, when it comes to doing stuff, you want to be sure that you have all like the needs and wants. Like I said before, needs and wants. That's kind of like something. Oh. This got really awesome. And like building these stuff you can actually use for like a circus. Oh. This got really awesome. So yeah, that's what circus is. Circus is like it's for fun. Take kids there, have fun, watch performers do their show for you. I went to a circus once, and trust me, and the biggest one I don't like is riding a bicycle on a rope. That's like the biggest fear because you gotta have like weights to hold it, and basically like if someone does it, they're gonna fall, and I have a fear of that. So that's not my biggest fun all time, especially the ones like riding the tall elephants. I have fear because if I basically want to get off, someone has to help me. So I'm too tall to ride an elephant. Plus they're big, and basically you can actually fall to your death. But alright, let me show you. Here's the tightrope right now. Tightrope is just basically there's no redstone to it. It's just a tightrope. So these are the ladders. You get on and on. You get off and you get off. So I'll just show you what a tightrope is. You just go. Player goes on the ladder. They go on. Oh. Sorry. The players go on the ladder. Alright. You're on the ladder right now. And then what they do is they basically have to jump at that point. Like right here, I jumped on the antenna. And they must walk all the way from here to there on the oak fence and touch the other point of the antenna, and then they can get down and start a new trick. We're gonna try. So you walk closely. You want to walk this. You want to make sure you pay so much attention. You want to make sure you're looking straight ahead. I mean, you can't look at your feet if you want, but looking ahead basically gives off the anchor. So you want to walk really, really fast. Just like that. And then on the antenna. But we're gonna put it in running speed. Running speed, if you really run on tightrope, you're gonna fall. And you have to restart the whole obstacle course again. So right there. Like that. You can't run like that. So that means you have to restart the whole thing again. But there's no time for playing games. We want to get this built for you guys. So once you've built the tightrope now, you're on to the next step. The third step is the sticky piston crusher. So when it comes to the crusher, basically, you want to build some allegiance. You have like alliance, like people who are basically alliances, who basically have the capabilities of running really fast and trying to avoid the crushing parts of pistons. But we're not going to actually be using sticky pistons. We're actually going to use regular pistons. Sticky pistons mostly attached to sticky stuff, like for example, like it cannot stick to bedrock because bedrock is so strong. It's an earth ground. It's basically a part of a ground rock. It's basically part of Earth's rock. The Earth is basically made out of the bedrock because it protects the end of the world, the space-time continuum. Feels like I'm in science class right now. God, what? Every time I actually am actually American. Like, I was actually born here, but I'm not actually using my German voice. Like, my videos, I kind of sound like I'm British. But, I mean, sure, call me British if you want, but, like I said, British people do not underestimate what they're talking about. Okay, for the crusher now, crusher is going to be a little hard. So for the crusher, you're going to grab yourself some items that you're going to need. And please hear me out. Grab yourself the pistons. Then grab yourself the block of redstone. So block of redstone. You're going to need stone brick slabs and a lever. So that's what all you need to do. Okay, the next build is that we're going to build a rotor piston. So the build is basically want to run really fast in order to get the piston. So the crusher is going to be like this. You want to have we're going to do 20 rows of pistons that are facing like this. 20 rows. Because basically the 20 rows does is that basically the rows that's facing forward because you're basically running from them. And you're going to do, let's see what our height is. So I'm going to put the third person, and we got Steve right here. So we're going to go ahead and test Steve. So the height of it should be at least 2. Compared to the sticky pistons and Steve. Steve's height is the same thing as the one. It's like 3 foot. I think Steve's like 4 foot or 3 foot. He's not really short, but that's what you're supposed to have. 2 rows of sticky piston, 20 rows. You're going to have 20 rows in total and 2 facing up. So like that, for example. So I'm going to cut the camera and get back to you guys when I'm done. Okay, I'm back. So once you have that, now basically you should have 20 rows of sticky pistons with 2 columns up. So you have two pistons. Alright, the next step is we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. But it's basically compared to the ones that basically facing up. So we want to do 1, 2, 3. Huh? Yeah, float. Happy birthday to you. You want to do 1, 2, 3. Place a piston on the third block, and then place your 20 rows on it, on the same side. So place 20 sticky pistons facing each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Like that, and then place them on the top. God, I can't wait to play this game. Okay. Now, you know how they're basically aligned together, right? They should be aligned together. Now basically, the next step we're going to do is we're going to put the block of redstone comes next. We're going to place a block of redstone all on the back here, and this is what you're supposed to have. They should be facing. They should be facing. And with the lever. Now, since redstone is so powerful, you want to be using redstone. So if I take, I'm gonna take this for example. I'll take a piece of redstone for example, and I'll place the lever. It will push the block easy. But I want to do the same thing on the top as well. Oh, it's kind of fun. Yeah. So, it's a hard work of time, but by placing a block of redstone, we're gonna place a couple blocks of redstones on top of the pistons. So only on the top only. And now the crusher does is that basically. Now here's a little step. Now, just like the top before, you want to go through it easily. So, kind of looks like a little hard plan with a crusher, but now basically you're gonna go ahead and now we're gonna dig 2 rows underground. That we're gonna dig one, and we're gonna dig one under a hole that's underneath the piston. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab yourself the redstone torch now. Go to your inventory, grab yourself the redstone torch, and you're gonna place one that's underneath the piston. We'll get rid of the cobblestone wall and place place it toward redstone toward underneath here, and it should connect. So the main part is you basically what you want to go. The main part is the reason why I call it the crusher is because basically you are going to go under it. So basically now the next thing we're going to do is basically, since basically what we call it the crusher, we're going to basically this is what it feels like. Actually, the main part that actually kind of screwed up. You basically want to crouch on here so like. Have you heard of a game called Limo? The game where you have like the pole, you have to go under it, and until you don't go under. Basically, if you go under the pole, if you knock the pole over, then you lose, and reset the pole up again. So, kind of like that, for example. So go ahead and delete those, and you want to just delete the redstone, the block of redstone that's on the piston. Make sure to offset it back into the position, like. Oh, and don't delete, and please do not be careful deleting. Do not delete the sticky pistons. We're going to now place another row of 20 on the other ones. So place in a row of 20 pistons. Shot 3 rows. What's this curve for? And this is where it comes into place. It's a call you back. Go ahead now and place your go ahead now and place your redstone block of redstone. Place your block of redstone. It's on the blocks, and they also close in place. All right, then grab your levers and then place them. Now look, you place them here. And now, basically, the main part is you basically want to now when the player basically goes in, basically this is what you're supposed to have. So place 2 levers there, and then there, basically you have the crusher crawler, the crusher crawl space. Now that's all done. Now what the player does, now you must next thing you do is you go into you go in here. The player the levers actually close on you. So that you won't attempt to cheat. So the sticky pistons close into place on you. And basically, you have to crawl until, like, for example, like when a player basically here, we're gonna get back out for a sec. So the main part is that this is gonna have a lot of tricks. For example, when it comes to doing this, you want to make sure that the player just basically you have to go fast as you can, because for example, if let me do something, for example, some sort. Let's give you some tricks, for example. It's gonna be some tricks. I'll go and place some levers on the sides. Place them one block away. Just see here. Now this is what it was supposed to look like. The person basically goes in, and what the player does that another player basically has to cheat. Basically, are gonna cheat. They're gonna cheat by thinking that this is a game. How it kids. Now, basically, what I mean by that is because basically your levers are basically not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be a hard challenge. You want to run really fast without those levers going off. Hi, Alexa. Until levers are basically not set off, you gotta try to make it to the end, and so you move on to challenge 4. So, kind of knows what I mean by this. So basically, we're gonna try this back in place, but since I can't do it because I'm I'm basically the only person who just can't do it. Basically, well, you have to run really fast, and one of the players has to hit the lever really quickly, and if you don't, you have to restart the challenge again. All the way from the beginning, from the landmark by tree to the mob crusher crawl space. So, like I said before, I put the levers here so that the people can lock it in place without you cheating. Now, when you play this surround mode, you have to use you can only use a pickaxe to delete these, not with your bare hands. Oops. So kind of like that, for example. But we'll set this back in place. So your mob crusher crawl space is done. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the part 4 of this. Alright, the part 4 of this is called, basically part 4 is called Roller Coaster Landslide. Roller Coaster Landslide. It's the challenge 4. Once you get to challenge 4, you basically start right here. And the main part is you're basically going to start making a roller coaster. So basically we're going to grab ourselves the power rails now. Actually, we're going to grab ourselves the power and detector rails. So get rid of your pistons, grab yourself the power and detector rails, and then grab yourself the mine carts. Now, this is specific, so please pay attention to your builds. When it comes to making stuff, you want to make sure that they are coming in place. The player starts build a lever right here. Basically start building by building a row here. Basically, you're gonna start building a row row. Sorry, that was a villager. Now, basically, you're gonna build yourself a little row right here. Like you're gonna build yourself a little space. So what does the roller coaster? Basically, you're gonna start by creating a build. Coming down. In case you don't know what this is, try to go to like a specific world. But then basically the point part is the water, basically connected towards the water. So grab the grass block and then you're gonna basically create like the water. Create like an outline for like the water from like not coming in. And then now back on the track. And basically you're gonna go ahead and keep going down that stream. The stream ends. Since we're not gonna do this so far, you want to get to like right here. This is where it ends. So I'll be right back, guys. I'll build it for you. Okay, I'm back again. How to use the bathroom. Okay, now when it comes to doing a roller coaster, you want to make sure you build your outline. The outline, for example, is that basically you're basically to be sure you're detecting stuff. So that's why they call them detector rails, because basically you're detecting for any like clues. So since creating this is going to be a little tricky, I'm going to try my best. So, create the outline here. But on the middle part of this build, delete that block and make it a detector rail. Detector rail basically decides whether you're basically having something. Then keep building your way. Keep building the way up until I ask you to build more custom builds. Do more, like obsolete, for example, like don't build stuff that's like off-slanted because it will not work. Just because that building stuff is hard, yeah, doesn't mean you have to work on it. I think this one is a little hard for me. See what the problem's like, so I mean, I don't know what I'm doing to this build. I have basically a problem building this tutorial is by deleting, it's by deleting blocks and placing a roller coaster. And basically, here's what the roller coaster looks like. And basically, like I said, place detector rails as well. So I'll be placing a detector rail on the end of the build, which is the last step. and then let's go ahead and give that a try. So place your minecart. Basically, grab yourself. We're gonna place ourselves some redstone. Place redstone here. Grab yourself a lever. So you can place yourself a lever. All right, delete that minecart. Delete your stone brick slab. No, actually, I prefer a block of redstone. Alexa, what's breakfast? A block of redstone will help. As you see, it only lights through. Then I delete that block, and then I basically create like a circuit. By deleting blocks, create yourself a redstone circuit. And actually, you want to here's a fun fact. Redstone actually you can light stuff that's redstone you can actually light underwater. Yeah. Like basically, some people do it underwater. It's back. Like that, it can power underwater. Here's a little detector rail. Delete that. Like that, for example, like you can actually do it underwater. And then try that again. So by replacing this stuff, you're gonna make yourself a circuit. Like what's breakfast? Yeah, float. See how these light up? Alexa, come here. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna basically delete that part. Alexa, good morning. And then place more parts. Right there was shown. And then place more redstone. And then kind of gives you like a contraction. It's like little hacks of it stuff. So place redstone on the other side. Should connect. And the last thing is basically you place two. It's okay maybe not, but still it's okay maybe not, but still. Make sure they all light up in place, and you should have yourself a winner. Alright then, it's time to test it out. Since the block of redstone is so powerful, it gives off reflection. Here we go. Now, you see that? It kind of off-slanted that block right there. The only way to get it back is you gotta put, if it goes off, basically, just add yourself a couple of more power rails. Make sure more power rails go like that. I just delete that one right there, and then we give it off a little shot. So we have to restart from the beginning again since we kind of screwed up. Playing Challenge 4 is kind of look a little hard, but like I said, it's the roller coaster's landslide. See what your problem is, Alexa. So we don't want that. So in order to fix that, just place grass blocks there. Just place some grass blocks right there. That will get off a reflection. We got blocks, we're alright. So just do that, for example, and then just ride. See that? That's the landslide. Because the detector rail. You gotta stop the detector rail. That's why they call it the roller coaster landslide. Water slide landslide, I meant. The detector rail is what basically does it for. It basically does it when people like detector rails are basically like detecting stuff, like goes back and forth, and it gives off a reflection. So basically that's what it does. So a villager got on here and he's trying to test me out. Alright, well basically this concludes today's lesson. Basically tomorrow we'll create more. We'll create the other parts. So we created 4 parts of this right here. The first you should have yourself is the landmark, which is mine here. It's a tree. You should have the chain rope of death, which involves minecart jumping from chains to avoiding the pit of lava to the other side. Next, the tightrope water balance. We climb up these ladders. Make sure you step on the antenna, and make sure you have to walk through, run through the whole oak fence without walking slow to the other side there. Next is the mob crush space crawler, where you must have a player to basically do it for you. They must click on these ladders really quickly to stop you from running. You must run really quickly in order to get to the next challenge. Next challenge, the water slide landslide is basically has a couple of power rails, including the detector rails that basically you detect. So you gotta try avoiding detector rails and let's get to the next side without no problem. Select this for example, like no problem with this, and then we'll work on challenge 5 tomorrow. So anyways, if you want to see more, hit link down below. Check out my boys' X channel, get to the headquarters. Check out my Minecraft tutorials. Basically, Christmas is coming up, and I can't wait to show you guys what I got for Christmas. I'll see you on Earth next video. Like a Hellcat.